Hello and welcome back to another installment of the Craftsmen Collective. As always, Rock here, and we're back at our base. I've done a few things since last time, not a huge amount. I added another chest up here to start branching out and adding more resource, more building block kind of things. That way we don't have kind of just only a couple and kind of scrunch it down here. You know, getting some more clay to make some more bricks for future projects. Be getting a little bit of basalt. Other than that, let's see, getting some lily pads for future projects. We installed this little number right here, this cobbly good stuff, which essentially is just a cobblestone generator. Now, I played with a few designs, and ultimately this is the one I came up with. This is based off of a smart piston design, which kind of this three-piece right here is kind of an add-on to get this addition on there. But essentially what happens is this torch right here, when the cobblestone gets generated, will power this block, powering this piece of redstone, and it will send power in two directions. The first direction being to this block breaker, the second direction being to this second block breaker. Now, this was kind of an addition to try to get the cobblestone generator to be to not be able to stop, kind of bug out. But I think in general, because of multiplayer, there's not really much around it other than setting up, like, you know, multiple connections to this block right here in order to try powering this multiple times. But in general, it's actually really fast to generate some cobblestones. We'll turn this on, and as you can see, we just have cobble just flying through here, and it just breaks it so fast that you don't really get to see it breaking it. But that's kind of the one thing we did off camera since the last time. Let me patch this up real quick. And as you can see, we have a little bit of stuff in our inventory. Now, the plan is, as we have, this has turned kind of into kind of a generator aisle, pathway from our intersection. So we got, you know, our sugar cane, we got cobblestone, we have our mossy cobblestone, and then we have this area right here. Now, we don't have anything right here right now because of our cobblestone generator that passes to the mossy cobblestone, but we can kind of build stuff back here. And so I cleared out a little nice block of area, and we kind of ran into a abandoned mine shaft that we'll probably loot at some point. But for now, we're not going to worry about it. But for right now, I'm thinking of turning this into a watermelon auto harvest farm. And so I cleared out a little area, and I got the resources that I will need for it. And so we will start by constructing that today. Now, this is using the same kind of 7x7 block setup that we used for the sugarcane. So it's nothing new, but this time I'm going to be constructing it on camera, as it is a fairly quick construction. So let me grab this, we'll throw that, and that. Okay. So, yes. Just making sure I have everything. Okay. So first things first, we are going to construct our bud switches that will be attached to these blocks. So now right here is where we're going to have our kind of our pumpkin, or not pumpkin, our watermelon seed here. These four spots are going to be potential platforms that the watermelon can grow onto. Now we're doing it this way so that there's a much greater range of space that it can grow in, and potentially, hopefully, make it grow faster. So we got this. We're going to be using nickelite blocks for our thing, just because there's no real reason behind it, but I thought it's funny. So we start here. We throw this. Now, as I showed before, when this block extends, this will get powered. And so after that, we branch that off like this. We will throw this up here, putting a block here and here. And so when this extends, this gets powered, this gets depowered, and then this right here gets depowered. And then we do this, and now we have our bud switch. Perfect. And then we also put a torch here. This torch will will turn on when the bud switch gets triggered, and this will be connected to our block breaker. So we got that set up. So that's one side. Now I'm just gonna go through real quick and set up the other sides a little faster without explaining it. That. Bam. That's two. Throw another sticky piston. Block. That. Okay, so that powers that. This comes up to here. So here. And then lastly, we put our last bud switch here, powering to here, and here. Oh. And here. And bam. There we go. And that should do it for the bud switch on all sides. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so that's the first phase, is the bud switches off of those. Okay. The next thing we do off of that is we will be placing our block breakers, which we will... see if I can get it like this. There we go. Yep, that's the right spot. Okay. So now these block breakers will break these spots right here, which is where the watermelons will grow. So we'll just jump out for a second. The next thing we will do off of that is fix this up, and we will put grab our hoe, place our melon seed. I'm gonna have to go grab a piece of bone meal in a minute, but for now that should be fine. So off of this right here, we can place our pneumatic tubes, which will all feed off of this right here. And we will send it over to a chest right here. Right here. Perfect. Now, we're going to use, for the frame of this one, is we're just going to use watermelon blocks. I think that's perfectly fitting for this kind of a farm. So that's the plan for that. And then actually we're gonna modify this a smidgen. There we go. So we can put that. And lastly, our chest. Perfect. We'll get a sign and a post a later point. So we will break back in over here. And of course, throw in some watermelons on the edges to kind of fill in some of the go like this. Fill in some of the spaces. Okay. And so that's going to come over here. That will feed off of that. Ooh. We will grab a bone meal really quickly. And luckily with a system like this, we're not really going to need a on-off switch because it's not it's not like a ticking kind of thing like the mossy cobblestone generator or the cobblestone generator where it's kind of continuously sending pulses. So we don't have to worry too much, and it's not really super fast, so we won't have to really worry about an on-off switch. So we'll come back in here. And we will bam. So with that, our gotta find a safe way in now. We will go like this. There we go. So with that, we now have our watermelon farm that's all hooked up. And let's say watermelon goes right there. It'll break it, throw it through the tube, and then bring it all the way to the chest. So with that, we have our water to keep the land hydrated. We have our bud switches with our block breakers to break it and bring it into there. And oh, yep, see, there we go. It's watermelon growing already. Now I did a little construction on this earlier just to do some testing because I wasn't sure if the block breaker would break the watermelon into slices and transport it, or it would break the slices and just leave the slices on the ground. So I was trying a new design with a transposer, and it worked. And then I realized it just broke. It broke it into slices and transported it. So I didn't really didn't end up needing it at all. So with that, we now have our watermelon farm, and we can use that to make watermelon blocks and such to do as a kind of a building material. Alright, so that's done. Last thing we need is our fence post. Do we have any extras? Probably not. And okay. So we need a fence gate and some planks to make a quick sign. And the final touch being this, and so we got mostly good stuff. We'll do melony. Good. Oh, caps lock. Good stuff. Perfect. So this is kind of our auto farm tunnel. So with that, that's our first project for the episode. The second project is a kind of a project that we want to do in preparation for 1.3. Now, once 1.3 comes out, it will bring the introduction of the emerald block and the emerald ore. And overall, it looks like a nice block that would be good to build with. Now, the only problem is that it would typically be, or could be hard to get, because they're only going to find, there's only two ways to acquire a emerald ore, or emerald block in general. or emeralds. The first of which being to go to extreme hills biomes and then mine around in there. But you're not going to find a lot of emerald ore there. And the second way is through NPC trading. Now, I have, through watching various people, such as E10 and I think Vintage Beef does it a little bit, but the easiest way to take advantage of the getting a lot of emerald ores is through paper and with the priest NPC. So I think the plan that we want to get constructed before 1.3 is brought onto the server is a kind of kind of an area where we can store a lot of paper, and it will be kind of funneled and dropped onto us while we're running the system, and it'll fill in our inventory as we're trading with the NPC. Now, kind of one thing that we want to do in addition to kind of the ethos method is using kind of pipes, or these transport pipes. So in general, there's only so, if we weren't to use just the typical system that Etho used, it's very limiting, as we're only allowed to get enough diamond blocks or emeralds that would fill up our inventory. So that's, what's it? It's what, 36 spaces of 64 emeralds, which is kind of limiting, and we want more than that. I think we could get a lot more out of it. And so one thing we're going to take advantage of is the ability to throw items and toss items out. And so with that, what we're also going to do is we're going to set up transport pipes. Now, if we look at these transport pipes, I've played around with them a little bit. So if we look at these transport pipes, the obsidian transport pipes are used for picking up objects that pop near them. So let's say we have this chest right here. Now, if we throw some cobblestone pipes right here, and we put a obsidian pipe right here, any block that gets dropped near it will get sucked into it and then thrown into a chest. So we can take advantage of something like that. So say we have our NPC trade going on, we can throw out emeralds from our chest, and they will get just sucked right into this transport pipe and put right into a chest, which we can use a diamond chest, and allowing us to actually get a lot more emeralds than we typically would be able to. Now, I don't really have a design fully fleshed out of how I'm going to do the system. That's something that I kind of want to play around with and figure out how I want to do that. So that's probably something we might jump into our creative world to do so. But I'm going to cut the recording for a moment, check our resources, and then we'll go from there. So I will be right back. Alright, so we went over to our single player test world, and we are going to try throwing together a little prototype for a emerald trade system with the NPC. Now, I have a rough idea in my head. It's just a matter of constructing it off of that. So right here, we'll say we're going to use, we'll use this piece of stone. So it's going to be our trading standpoint. Off of that, we need a place for the NPC to stand, as well as our transport pipe and chest and such. So we first will grab, let's see if I can find them. Okay. We need obsidian, transport pipe. We need, actually, I'll hold off on those. And we'll grab a cobblestone transport pipe. So right here is roughly, well, assuming we had a chest associated with it. Right here is roughly where we'll be throwing our goods. With that, we'll probably see if we can trade with the NPC from here, and then we can kind of toss out our, yeah, there we go. If you look down towards his feet more, yeah, perfect, perfect. Okay, so this is, oh, that's really slow. Okay, so this is probably going to be kind of our setup right here. We'll set up a system like that, so our NPC will be standing on top of this. We can probably use something more along the lines of like a half slab or something. So he'll be standing there, and then we will toss our goods right into there. Perfect, perfect. Okay. So off of this, right above us is where we're going to be dropping in the goods. Now I figured that the room is probably going to be at least a 3x3, and then off of something like that will be our ceiling. Stand here, trade with him. Let me hook up this to a chest. We'll just use a normal chest if I can find it. Right here. There we go. Okay, okay, like that. So this is where we will have our NPC trading. Now we need, it's going to be at least a 2-block clearing. Well, we gotta have less than a 2-block clearing for the NPC, so he can't get out. So if we have something like this. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna need that a little higher. Ooh. What's my... something's running a little slow. Nope, nope, it's back up. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do some upside down slabs right here. Perfect, perfect. And then we will put our NPC right in here. So let's just grab an egg right now. Spawn villager. Okay. So off of that, we can put a little ceiling for this guy right here, which we will. There we go. We'll go with like that. Throw in a piece of glowstone. Perfect. So we got our trade window here. This will be our ceiling. And now we're gonna have to play with this a bit. I don't necessarily like this setup. But we're gonna have to do something similar to this. But in general, the principle is there. We should be able to trade with him, as well as throw the things that need to be transported into this chest right here. so that's that. So we have a good idea of how we want to set up our tossing system right there. Now the biggest design challenge is setting up our system for dispensing our paper to us. Now I did see a little bit of how E10 did it in his video, but I didn't entirely you know, kind of memorize the design for it. But in general, we're gonna want to do something like, let's swap out this for a piece of stone. So first we'll do something like this. Now we want to put a piece of, or a sign in that hole right there. Sign, 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 sign. Oh, of course. Cheat mode. There we go. Okay, so that's where our water will be, our water drop off will be. Water, of course, can go, actually we probably don't even need that. We'll keep that for safety reasons. Water can go 8 blocks, I believe, with, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fill off these little walls right here. And fill off these side little areas right here. Okay. So this will be our water streams for the paper to get collected in. Additionally, I'm gonna want to do one more thing. With 1.3, we'll be able to finally harvest ice. Unfortunately, we won't be able to bring it into the nether, but we can use it for things such as this, for faster transportation of objects. So we will just clean this out real quick. As ice in overall moves objects faster with water. So we will grab that. We will then grab a bucket of water, which should be right about here. Okay, now we'll go to there. We'll also, I think, yeah, we'll do that. We're also gonna have, do it off this. Also want, oh, her at least. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll also have additional things here. So we'll have kind of branches that will all kind of bring it over into the same area. Oh, there. And then, oh. We'll grab that for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so that will give us 4 crossways in which for water to come in. And so like if we throw a piece of redstone in here, you can see it gets transported really quickly and it's going to get dropped down right there. So with this stream we can shoot a lot of paper out of the dispensers and then it'll all just get dropped down right on top of where we're standing. So off of that, now the question is if we want to have dispensers just along this right here, or have it one up. I think we'll just do it one up for now, and we can do it on all of these sides right here, right here. That will give us, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, 14, 15. Each side will have 15 dispensers, giving us a total of 60 dispensers just from this right here. Now, I think that's a pretty good amount. We could technically probably go more. I think going more might be a little overkill. As we still have to be able to trade the emeralds, or trade the paper for emeralds from the NPC. So it might be a bit overkill to do kind of more than that. So we'll go around, just fill in his things, and then after that, we will start setting up our redstone wiring to be able to have it spit out all the dispensers at the same time, or roughly the same time. So we will do okay. We will need to do this. You can't directly place redstone on top of a dispenser, but if you place it above on a block, you can have it placed on top of the dispenser. So we will have to kind of have these little caps in order to get it, get all the redstone on top of it. So we'll just cover these up real quick, and then continue on with our redstone. Now, our the redstone's not going to be able to branch all the way around, as it's only can transport 15 blocks. So we'll have to figure out how we want to compensate for that. That's something we can just kind of, we'll do as we're testing this stuff out. But that right there won't go all the way around. Okay, I have some ideas though. We will see. That. Okay. And another row. And I think this is, yeah, the last set of dispensers we need to redstone on top of. There we go. Okay, so with that we have our redstone on top of all of our dispensers. So if we, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we have to figure out how we want to hook all of these up together. Now, probably the easiest way, something like this, and this. Okay, and so we'll have some type of clock that will kind of pulsate these torches on and off. So if we throw a little ring around the top here, we can set up redstone along this top section, and then by powering this, it will depower it. So like so. Now I don't know. Which ones are getting extra power? I think that's fine. So this is kind of our power switch, our powering for this whole ring right here. Now we kind of have to hook it up to some type of switch to turn it on and off. We will grab some planks again, do a little, probably have a little wall or something. We'll have a switch associated with it. We do need to make a clock. Luckily for us, we have the Red Power 2 timer, repeater/timer, so that kind of gives us the flexibility that we need. We'll probably use the timer as it gives us more precision. So let's go like this. We will grab the grab the timer. Somewhere. Did I miss a timer? There we go. We'll grab. Oh. Can't wait for 1.3 single player. There we go. So connecting to this, we can throw our timer. Perfect. There we go. And now this is set to 2-second intervals. Luckily for us, we can kind of modify this. We'll do some testing in the multiplayer world when we're ready. But luckily for something like this, we get quite a bit of range customization, or the ability to kind of customize this as we need it. So we will do this, and I think off of this right here, we can just do a redstone tower. So we do this, that. Okay, that's off. And we will add a couple more. So that's off right now. That's on. Yep. And I think that should be good. So if we went something like, that's off. Oh, get that lag again. Dat lag. There we go. So this is something we'd have a wall corner like this or something. Or, you know, even branching it off of this right here, coming around, etc., etc. Kind of the idea. But off of that, we will grab a lever. And I think by default, we'll have it. So this will be on. Oh, yep, okay. And off. There we go. So something like that will be our kind of our mechanism. Nice and clean, nice and quick. Now I'm going to go through real quick, and I'm going to fill up these dispensers with some like cobblestone, and we'll do a quick test to see kind of how the speed of it, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and filled up all of the dispensers with stacks and stacks and stacks of cobblestone. We will modify this to be, we'll give it a 2-second interval. We'll give that a test. So with that, we should be able to let's swap ourselves over to survival. No. Survival. There we go. Give this a spin and see how that goes. Oh, that is going to fill up our inventory really quick. So as you can see, it can dispense out really fast. We're probably going to have to... We'll see. I'm not sure. I'll have to do some testing in the multiplayer server. I might make it a bit longer of an interval between drops of items to reduce any lag that might be caused by something like this. But as you can see, the concept is there. Oh. There we go. As you can see, the concept's there, and it does work, which is exactly what we were going for. Ooh. One additional thing that we may do, I'm not entirely sure. After I finish lagging. Hold on, I'll be right back in a sec. Alright, so we're back. One additional thing we may consider doing, I'm not entirely sure if we will, but it's a consideration, is we may attempt to hook up some chest to these dispensers, and that way every time it ticks, it may pull paper from chest and put it into the dispensers, giving us a lot more. Or we may just add additional rings up for it to kind of do the same thing as this. So we'd take this dispenser layer all the way up to this layer right here, and we kind of stack it up, and then this clock would be brought back a bit more, and the clock would connect to all the layers. That's an idea. I don't know if I'll necessarily need to. I think we're gonna get a lot out of this. So like right here, let's do some math real quick. So we have 60 dispensers, all of them which have 9 slots, and each of those slots contains 64. So we roughly, if all of these dispensers are filled up, it's going to be about 36,864 pieces of paper, which is quite a lot. And that should give us a lot of trading material. So I think something like this is probably sufficient for what we need for trading. And it's going to take a while to get the paper we need anyways. So I'm going to jump back over to the server, the Craftsman Collective server, and I'll be back in a moment. Alright, so we're back in the Craftsman Collective. So with the paper trade system, I think the goal for it, excuse the lag, I'm not sure what that is. Luckily I don't have to move too much. But in general, what I'm thinking for it is off in that direction right there, kind of where that cobblestone is on the back wall, is where we will set up the entrance to the paper trade system with the NPC. And so that's kind of the first thing, the first step. the whole system in general is getting kind of the area cleared out, setting up a room, making it nice and pretty and stuff. And so that's most of that stuff is I'll probably do partially off camera. I might do it on camera. I'm not sure. I guess it really depends. I'll see when the time comes. I might clear out the area and then work on it on camera or something. But over there is where we will be doing our paper trade station. And the only thing we really need to do is just kind of make sure we have all our resources and, craft the dispensers and so on and so forth. But I think with that, it's probably going to be good enough for an episode for today. So I'm going to call it there. As always, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or feedback, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. And as always, Rock here, and I will catch you guys next time.